Well, folks, it's great to be standing here again for another UKIP NI AGM. And it's always great to be able to celebrate these events with so many patriots. This has been a tough year for unionists here, with the continuing vilification of our brave veterans, such as Soldier F and those who support him, as we've seen in Londonderry, with the PSNI going totally over the top to appease nationalists by harassing a band, including children, for displaying support for Soldier F on their shirts. And then, when faced by nationalist rioters and petrol bombers at a bonfire which threatened lives and property, they run away and leave them free to terrorise their own community. Is it any wonder people are calling this two-tiered policing? And then you add this to what the mainstream media has been reminding us of over the last month or so, that members of our policing board, which holds the police to account, and members of our useless assembly were not only active participants in the IRA campaign of terror against us, but some of them were directors of it. Folks, there's no such thing as dissident Republicans. This is merely the latest cover name for the IRA. The same leaders ordering people to use the same guns, the same explosives that were used before the so-called peace process to terrorise, murder and maim today. With people like this in positions of power, is it really a surprise that the police are seen to be appeasing these Republican terrorists and their supporters in their continuing acts of violence? Talking about a useless assembly, let me remind you that the clowns on the hill have cost us £15 million paying their wages and expenses. And if we add on utility and security bills for an empty Stormont building, it would be nearer £19 million. The clowns continue their never-ending holiday, apart from a brief return on Monday last, which the Alliance Party and their Sinn Féin allies boycotted. The DUP Speaker stopped the DUP enacting any business, and the SDLP stormed out, refusing to do anything without their Sinn Féin mates. And that reminds us of their successes in the past, like NAMA, Red Sky, renewable heating. These work-shy politicians haven't made a decision here for years, and maybe that's a good thing. And now they continue to tell us, anyone that will listen, that no one here wants a no deal. Well, I'm here today to tell them that I do want a no deal. We in UKIP believe a strong and free United Kingdom will once more be able to complete trade deals around the world, deals that will benefit us, not the corrupt EU. We will once again control our own destiny and laws, control our waters and who fishes them, and control our security and our borders. We can prevent our security forces being dragged into an EU army and used as pawns at the whim of an EU dictatorship. We will not settle for crumbs from the EU table and be forced to pay ever-increasing costs to them for the privilege. And we will not pay their £39 billion demand. No deal is the only way forward. Unlike other so-called unionists, we will not tolerate anything that separates us from our fellow countrymen in England, Scotland and Wales. We will not accept a backstop, no matter what it's called, or indeed any deal controlled by our useless executive. As for the constant threats of a united Ireland, that's now merely a dream. A tale told by old Republicans in their drinking dens to anyone gullible enough to listen. Northern Ireland is stronger than ever and will thrive within the rest of the United Kingdom after Brexit. I grew up listening to the DUP and their constant fear-mongering of a united Ireland and Dublin rule for Northern Ireland, all whipped up to secure our votes. Well, folks, Dublin doesn't even rule Dublin anymore. The Republic is now no more than a borough of the European Union, enacting the wishes of its masters in Brussels. Dublin rule is a past threat, but Brussels rule is our new threat. There is no Irish border anymore. Now we have a UK-EU border. We were born British, and British we will die. We had terrible job news here recently with losses of jobs at the shipyard, Wrightbus, Thomas Cook, which the mainstream media tried to attribute to Brexit. But now these companies have all been saved to differing degrees by companies who do not fear Brexit and realise the value of the Ulster workforce. The doomsayers try to blame every job loss on Brexit and tell us businesses here fear Brexit. They tell us they won't invest in their companies. No one will open businesses here. Well, I've done a simple check of some of those facts. And a recent survey has shown that 75% of small and medium enterprises here in Northern Ireland plan to grow their businesses over the next 3 years, more than anywhere else in the UK. Wrightbus has been saved by the Bamford Bus Company. All Thomas Cook shops have been reopened under the Hayes brand. The shipyard has retained all its workforce, with plans by Infrastrata to increase this by several hundred in the next few years. Belfast Harbour have announced a £254 million investment, creating 7,000 new jobs and another 3,500 jobs during construction. Add this to other investments announced just over the last 2 months from local and American firms. It amounts to an investment of £262 million and the creation of over 11,200 jobs. Things are looking positive in Northern Ireland, despite what the mainstream media and their experts try to tell you. Folks, UKIP is needed now more than ever. We are a party with a wide manifesto that stretches well beyond Brexit. And I plead with all true unionists in our party to look beyond their disagreements. For now, because our party, and more importantly our country, is at stake. I call on all of unionism, no matter what colour, creed or religion, to stand as one. The famous Ulster cry of "United we stand, divided we fall" rings true once again. We all need to look to the greater causes of maintaining the Union and creating a strong, independent United Kingdom, because now that the mainstream media and other political parties have written us off and do not see us as a threat, it is the perfect time for us to unite and, like the phoenix, arise from the ashes, take our place as a true voice of the silent majority, and lead our country to the freedom, wealth and prosperity it deserves. Our message as ever to the EU is no surrender!